Lesson 105. God's peace and joy are mine. Welcome to the Qigong Support for A Course in Miracles students. I am Judith and you're at the Lucid Mind Center. As always, first we're going to read this lesson together. Then we are going to contemplate it while we're reading it and after that. And at the end, I will guide you towards a Qigong class or several Qigong classes which are suitable for you to apply that lesson in. These Qigong classes contain a purification period where we are going to cleanse the body and mind, get ourselves into a meditative state. And then in the class, when we start circulating the Qi, I will remind you to remember your lesson. And I also will give you time to listen to your higher self, to your holy voice. Before we start, please subscribe to my channel so more Course in Miracles students can find me. Also, I would really love to know where you are watching from, how long you've been with A Course in Miracles, and how this reading was for you and the class afterwards. Let's begin. Lesson 105. God's peace and joy are mine. God's peace and joy are yours. Today we will accept them, knowing they belong to us. And we will try to understand these gifts increase as we receive them. This is so beautiful. They are not like the gifts the world can give, in which the giver loses as he gives the gift. The taker is the richer by his loss. These are not gifts, but bargains made with guilt. That means if I have got a piece of cake, and I have got 8 pieces, if I give you 1, I'm left with 7. This is the way that the world is giving. So if I give you something, then I have less. But this is not how the divine giving functions. The truly given gift entails no loss. It is impossible that one can gain because another loses. This implies a limit and an insufficiency. No gift is given thus. Such gifts are but a bid for a more valuable return, a loan with interest to be paid in full, a temporary lending meant to be a pledge of debt to be repaid with more than was received by him who took the gift. This is how we are dealing with our gifts. I give you something and I'm hoping that I'm going to get something in return. This strange distortion of what giving means pervades all levels of the world you see. Exactly. It strips all meaning from the gifts you give and leaves you nothing in the ones you take. A major learning goal this course has set is to reverse your view on giving so you can receive. For giving has become a source of fear, and so you would avoid the only means by which you can receive. Accept God's peace and joy, and you will learn a different way of looking at a gift. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away. They but increase thereby. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. This is actually very interesting when we are letting the Qi flow. It is increasing, and as we are increasing the Qi flow within us, we become more aware, we become more happy and joyful. And after the class, we are more happy and joyful and more willing to share this happy and joyful state with whoever is around us. That's why I need to do this every day. Accept God's peace and joy, and you will learn a different way of looking at a gift. God's gift will never lessen when they are given away. They but increase thereby. As heaven's peace and joy intensify when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept His joy and peace as yours. True giving is creation. It extends the limitless to the unlimited eternity to timelessness, and love unto itself. It adds to all that is complete already, not in simple term of adding more, for that implies that it was less before. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away, securing it forever for itself. Today, accept God's peace and joy as yours. Let Him complete Himself as He defines completion. You will understand that what completes Him must complete His Son as well. He cannot give through loss, no more can you. Receive His gift of joy and peace today, and He will thank you for your gift to Him. Today, our practice periods will start a little differently. Begin today by thinking of those brothers who have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. Here you deny them to yourself, and here you must return to claim them as your own. Think of your enemies a little while and tell each one as he occurs to you, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Thus you prepare yourself to recognize God's gifts to you and let your mind be free of all what would prevent success today. Now are you ready to accept the gift of peace and joy which God has given you? Now are you ready to experience the joy and peace you have denied yourself? Now can you say, God's peace and joy are mine, for you have given what you would receive. You must succeed today if you prepare your mind as we suggest, for you have let all bars to peace and joy be lifted up, and what is yours can come to you at last. So, as long as we are carrying a grudge against a person, it's almost as we have got like a big obstacle in our experience of joy and peace. So forgiveness is removing those obstacles from our experience. Like I have said in the very beginning when we started this course, when I first started the Course in Miracles, my light was hidden under a big pile of debris. And it took me, after I finished the Course in Miracles, and after I went to a program of the Monroe Institute, did I actually realize how big this pile of debris was, where my light was hidden under. And then I removed, like visually, I removed one piece after the other, and then I could see there was a little light there, and eventually this whole pile of debris and dirt was gone. But this is those parts of forgiveness. I mean, some of them I took bit by bit, and sometimes the whole thing would just disappear overnight because I had made an intention that I want to recognize my light. And we have been doing that in the classes previous to this one. We have been working on removing some of those obstacles. But I just want to point this out again here to you. It is very important to purify all the time. And we are doing that symbolically in Qigong with every class. We are purifying, we are letting go of grief, of sadness. We are letting go of those negative emotions which are hiding the positive virtues, the power, the true power we have, which are hidden behind these negative emotions, behind those thoughts which we are manifesting as negative emotions into our body. Okay? And it's thoughts. It is all starts with thoughts. We are thoughts within God's mind. So let me repeat this. You must succeed today if you prepare your mind as we suggest. And I just want to point something here again. It says here, as we suggest. And so every time I'm reading that we somewhere in the course, I'm like thinking, well, who is we? I did ask that question in my writing. I have actually written a whole book. I just haven't I need to edit it before I publish it. But I have always asked, who is we? And the answer is always, there is a group which I am part of. So we are together. It's the highest form of consciousness, which could be the Christ consciousness, but then there is several of those Christ consciousness, and I am part of it. And it's kind of, I'm being reminded by myself and by this Christ consciousness of what my purpose is here. So that we, in this particular sentence, is this group consciousness which is helping me remember, which is helping us remember. So let me just repeat this. You must succeed today if you prepare your mind as we suggested, and that we, you are included. Your higher self is included in that we. For you have let all bars to peace and joy be lifted up, and what is yours can come to you at last. So tell yourself, God's peace and joy are mine, and close your eyes a while, and let His voice assure you that the words you speak are true. Therefore, you write down on a piece of paper all what is suggested in the course with Italica sentences. You write that on your piece of paper. You must spend your 5 minutes thus with Him each time you can today. But do not think that less is worthless when you cannot give Him more. At least remember hourly to say the words which call on Him to give you what He wills to give and wills you to receive. So God wills you to give you peace and joy, and He also wills that you receive it. Determine not to interfere today with what He wills. And if a brother seems to tempt you to deny God's gift to him, see it as but another chance to let yourself receive the gifts of God as yours. Then bless your brother thankfully and say, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. So, take a piece of paper and write following down. God's peace and joy are mine. And write also the number on the piece of paper, 105. God's peace and joy are mine. My brother, whoever is in front of you, whoever you see in your mind, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. And then I'm going to remind you within the Qigong class to actually to glance at your piece of paper, remember your lesson, and then also allow yourself to hear or explore or observe what actually happens deep within you. I just want to share a little thought with you about us and our brothers and sisters, about all the people who are in this world. You see, we are connected, we are one on the level of holiness. We are one. There is this higher consciousness, and all of us are connected with that higher consciousness. I always say your higher consciousness, my higher consciousness, but as a matter of fact, that higher consciousness or that Holy Spirit is one. So imagine this, I'm just going to try to explain this with this hand. So if this is the higher consciousness, or imagine this whole body is the higher consciousness, and these fingers are the expressions of each individual human being. So for example, that is me, that is you, that is your partner, that is your children, that is your parent. Okay? So if you are focusing only on the tip of this thumb, you do not realize that you are connected to the next person, any person. You know, there's thousands of them. Each one is connected. So if you think that you can do something which is not going to affect the rest of the consciousness, you can do something to this thumb without affecting the rest, you are mistaken. What you do here, whatever light you manage to bring into this particular consciousness, this awareness of yourself, is going to affect all the other ones as well. Think of it that way. Yes, we have got bodies which seem to be separate from other bodies, but this is the this is that magical world we have somehow co-created, and we are believing ourselves to be separate. And our job is to remember that this is an illusion. It's an illusion of separation. We are not separate. The truth is, we are not separate. It is an illusion of it. But we can use this illusion, we can use this to remember that nothing is separate. That means that I am talking to you here. It seems to be that we are separate in time, but as a matter of fact, we are one. I just cannot remember your memory, and you cannot remember mine at the moment, because we are separated at the moment through time, we believe. But when we decide that we want to connect to this consciousness, to this higher consciousness, we get connected. We become connected to ourselves, to our versions of ourselves, and we also become connected to what was before and what will be after. And that is what we kind of are pursuing. We are pursuing the understanding of union, that the separation is an illusion. Okay? So, for this particular class, I suggest this Qigong class, which is a little bit longer, this one, which is shorter, and here you have got the whole list of Qigong classes which you can choose from to apply this particular class for. Enjoy.